What's up, Facebook Live? So here I am again, day 3, Fuck Fear Challenge. And I wanted to reach out and see how everybody's feeling. How has your Fuck Fear Challenge been going? What have you guys been getting into? And I also wanted to talk about rejection, which I have experienced this week. And I know a lot of my friends are, so I want to jump on that. But first, I want to send a shout out to Chet Faker, who I've been listening to on repeat in my apartment day after day, who's actually helped me write my book and almost finish my website. And I also want to give a shout out to the dude I just saw who was walking his dog and reading a book, because that is skills. And I don't know that guy's ever been rejected, but I definitely have, and I know most of us have. So I've been talking to my friends, and well, I guess I should back up. I just realized that the 2 videos that I've done this week have almost reached 800 views each. And I am so humbled, I am so grateful and so thankful for everyone who has left comments and who has private messaged me. And I want to say that I see you seeing me, and I hope you see me seeing you. I know that that's how we transcend all of the illusions in love, all of the separation. So I just want to say thanks to everybody who takes the time to watch my videos. And I'm inspired by you, and I hope that I'm inspiring you to speak your truth. So I wanted to talk a little bit about rejection, just do a short video because it's Friday. And I wanted to talk about how a lot of my friends are experiencing rejection. They're going through breakups and they're having a really hard time. And the thing with rejection is, and I don't know where this comes from, but we tend to just jump back and all of a sudden think that it's us. So I didn't get that job, or I didn't get that part, or someone rejected me and I did my best. And so we start caning ourselves like, wow, if I was just, a little bit skinnier, or I worked out more, or I tried harder, or I talked less, or whatever it may be, you start beating yourself up. And that's that ego fear conversation versus the higher self soul conversation. So I wanted to say that I personally experienced some rejection this week, and it really sucked. And for a minute, I had that awareness and that power pause to think, wow, well, do I want to go ego fear conversation and beat myself up, or do I just want to accept that perhaps this wasn't aligned with me and my path? So I chose higher soul self conversation, and I had a minute where I was like, wow, ouch, this really hurts. And I felt like somebody kicked me down in the dirt. I had dirt in my mouth. I was like, what the hell? I mean, this sucks. And then I was like, no, you know what? This is awesome. This is so awesome. And I want to tell you why. It's so awesome because every time we get rejected, we leave space for the things that are truly aligned with us. Every time something moves out of our space, something new can enter that's aligned with us. So what if we took a minute to, instead of going into our masculine energy, which we live in a very masculine world, always doing, going, trying to will things, making things happen. We never take the time to sort of step back and say, let me go into my heart space and see, let me check in with myself. So do I even want this? Or is this what they told me to want? Is this even right for me? Or is this not even the time right now? Or is this not even aligned with me at all? But I think that I wanted it. A lot of my friends are going through breakups and they're having a hard time because everybody has the old paradigm of being in a relationship and having it last forever. That's like the fairy tale. And there will be some people that obviously you find someone and maybe it does last forever. But for some of us, we're on a totally different path, and that's not really the path for us, and that's okay. So I want to talk about how rejection feels so terrible, like face in the dirt. And if you've ever rock climbed, I've been an avid rock climber for 10 years. I love it. If you've never tried it, you have to do it. There's something about being on the wall and finding out how your body fits with the wall. It's just you and the wall. There's no one going to tell you the beta, which is basically how to do the move. It's really what feels right for you. And you really get that muscle going that I always talk about, where it gets easier and easier to do things, to figure out your way around instead of asking people. So when you're on the wall, if you've ever sport climbed, you clip in and you clip in, and it's really hard. It's not something that's really easy at all. It takes a lot of strength and it takes a lot of nerve to do it. And it's like climbing up the side of a mountain or the wall, and you're in between clips, and you know that if you don't make it to the next clip, you're going to free fall and it's going to suck and you're going to just be scared. And if you make it, it'll be amazing. So a lot of the times, I would get to the part on the wall where I didn't think I was strong enough. And I was like, you know what? I'm going for that shit. I'm going to do it. And I would go up, and some of the times I would make it and I'd be like, yes. And the other times I would be like, yeah, no, I didn't make it. I just free falled. And it was awesome, but it was scary. But that's what rejection feels like. You feel so vulnerable. Like, oh my God, what do I do? Like, do I want this? Or why didn't this happen for me? And I'm hurting and I don't know. And I really want to challenge you to take that power pause and have that awareness and just go within your heart space and say, do I even want this? Is this right for me? And if it's not right for me right now, is it maybe later, or is it even aligned with me at all? So I want you to know that if you're feeling darkness or resistance around what you want and you're not getting it, you're being blessed, because you're going to start working that muscle and it's going to become easier and easier to realize what's right for you and what's not right for you. And so leave in the comments and let me know last time you put yourself out there and you got rejected and how it felt, and where you went from there. Because I think that we should start thinking in terms of rejection as being something that is exciting, something that the universe is protecting us from something that is not right for us, and it's giving us that chance to go within to really think about, is this even right for me at all? And sometimes you can zigzag, and some of the best things that I've ever had that happened to me were because I got rejected. I've been fired from jobs and had to take the time to be like, wow, my whole self-esteem and what I thought about my life was predicated on this job. And now that I don't have this job, who am I? And what do I want and where do I want to go? And that's a really scary place to be. It's like you're just in that field again. Like I always talk about, naked and vulnerable, and maybe nobody's around to help you. And so you have to go within and say, what am I going to do? And some of the best things have happened. When I lost my job, after working in Brooklyn, which I was so sure that was the job for me, I basically had time to start meditating. I had time to start reading books. I started taking classes. I started going on my spiritual path, and I launched my own business. It gave me 4 years of making my own money and traveling the world and realizing that I could go anywhere and do anything. So sometimes when we get rejected, it's really awesome. There's nothing to be scared about. It gives us a power pause to step back and realign with our own rhythms and the rhythms of the universe and what's best for us. I mean, some of the jobs that I had, I worked 60 plus hours a week, and I was physically ill, and I was not aligned with my inner rhythm. I was not in the right job. And while it gave me a stepping stone to where I am, it just wasn't right for me. So I challenge you to talk about and take a chance. And, if you've never been rejected or pushed in the dirt like I have this week, just do it. Just get out there, because if you haven't failed and you haven't been rejected, you're definitely not trying hard enough. And I think that if you do, you're pretty much a badass, and that's awesome. And you should think about it as a positive thing and not a negative thing, not a lack, but creating a space for something new and being the badass that you are. And you have to get to the point where, so what? I got pushed in the sand this week, and that's cool. And so what if I didn't get that job? And so what if I didn't do this? But I'm going to take that chance and see what happens. So be a badass, a spiritual badass, and take a chance, get rejected, fail, and you'll grow and you'll realize what you really want. So I just want to leave you with that. Let me know in the comments how you're feeling this week. And if you did a fuck fear challenge, I want to hear about it. And also if you've been rejected, and I want to say congrats if you have, because that's awesome. And I want to leave you with, in love we know, in love we flow. Have an awesome weekend, and I'll be back soon with more downloads.